don't hold yourself back and express yourself there. We are very happy to see through it or to read through it. Like I said, we want to make this session very interactive and exciting. Lena, please confirm you can hear me. Am I still being heard?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please, I'm still waiting on the chat session. Just in a sentence, it doesn't have to be fancy, just express yourself. What is one takeaway, or what's your expectation from this session before we dive in, so as to manage our expectations and make clarifications?
Please, let's engage. Kindly engage.
Yes, engage, yeah.
Chats.
Yeah. Okay, I can see someone say he wants to learn or how to create a personal CV, if I get that correctly. Thank you, Abdul Qadir. That's amazing. So please, let's have 2 more before so that I can proceed. Please don't hold back. This is a learning session for every one of us. So do not hold yourself back. Express yourself. We are here to interact. And yeah, okay, someone mentioned professional skill building to nurture my creativity. That's amazing. People are coming in with very wonderful expectations. This one says he wants to learn how to brand myself enough to meet global standard in all. Okay, thank you, Abdul Ghaffar. Thank you, Umar. I'm seeing your contributions. And then now we will proceed. So what we look forward, or what we want to communicate or discuss through this session is, number one, what is personal branding? What does it mean in practical terms? Also, we will want to go through how to create a professional CV that gets attention, because usually our CV precedes us. Even in job applications, you have to fill in your CV or send your CV. It will be scanned through. It will be screened before you get invites for interview. So now we will also learn how to make that professional CV that gets attention, that invites attention, that facilitates that interview call. And so also we will also learn how to optimize LinkedIn and other digital profiles. We will also learn how to build a simple portfolio that shows your value, and also how to create and present your skills professionally for job and business opportunities. So these are some of the things or outcomes or objectives for this session. So by the end of the session, I want you to ask this question: what is one thing that you want to improve about your professional profile? By the end of this session, you should ask yourself this: okay, what is one thing that I want to improve? Simple baby steps. Okay, is it about my brand? Is it about my CV? Is it about my digital profile like LinkedIn? Is it about how to build my portfolio, or how to go about it, or even how to pitch my skills professionally such that it brings about business opportunities for me or jobs? So moving on to the next slide. It's about personal brand. And something key that here we should know is your name is your brand. Your name is your brand. When your name is being mentioned in your absence, or when someone goes through your profile without meeting you in person, what is their perception about you? And we should know that a lot of decisions that are being taken is usually about how people perceive us. So that's why it is very important to maintain that perception by building our personal brand. So what people make decisions about you or who you are before even meeting you. So for example, they see your CV, or for example, they see your projects charter, or your value proposition. So they begin to make decision about, okay, am I going to employ this person? Am I going to sign this contract with this person? or not. So that is why it is important to build and maintain a personal brand. Also, your profile can open doors for you. It can take you places, and at the same time, it can shut doors for you. How do people perceive you? What's if you're a business owner, what are the reviews people are having about your business? Okay, he's reliable, he delivers on time, or she delivers on time, excellent customer service, for example, after service, for example, they are empathic. So these are profiles or perceptions that people can have about you that can either open your doors or shut them down. Also, in terms of employment, if you are seeking an employment, employees or employers do what is called as a background check. Based on your CV, okay, I have worked at this place in this capacity. So they don't just employ you usually based on skill. I think that has been iterated or emphasized by the speaker in the morning section, that it's not about your skill, but the value you present. So I can do this, I can do that. So they go to confirm. Please mute your mic so that we can have a seamless session. Please verify and check, mute your mic so that we can. Yeah, okay, thank you so much. So the same times it can shut down doors. Okay, they go to your previous employer or where you have worked in some capacity. Okay, and they ask, tell us about this person, or want to know about this person. And they say, okay, this person is an excellent developer. This person is an excellent digital marketer, but then he's not a team worker. He does not work effectively or efficiently with team members. He keeps having conflicts with other people. So this can form their opinion about you, it can form their perception about you, and it can also shut those doors. The same thing in the other way around. So we should also know that employers, clients, and partners search online before even engaging you. And this is the need for a digital profile. A CV can be physical, for example, the one you send to them, or if it's a business, someone before engaging you, or before even engaging a vendor for a particular service or product, will go and see or search them online before even engaging them. Okay, that I'm interested in this service, or I'm interested in this product, or I want us to have this business together. They go and see, okay, how does this person carry himself? How does this person communicate? What are the values he has, and how does he present this thing online? So as much as we are going to pay attention to what one does offline, for example, presenting CVs, how they carry themselves, it is equally important in the digital age that someone also maintain a very professional outlook online. So personal branding, like we mentioned, skills alone are not enough. Even if you are very skillful, you need visibility. And this, it comes to showing your work. You know, so many a times it has been mentioned that your work speaks for itself. Yes, that is true. Do very quality jobs that can speak for themselves, but that alone is not enough. You have to promote what you do. You have to promote your skills. For example, if you're a business owner, you have to post the services you have done, the products you have, how people use them or how they should use them. I mean, you have to make that very visible, because that is what is going to send that information and how people are going to perceive your brand or you as a person. So also presentation matters. So in building your personal brand, you have to pay much attention. How do you present your ideas, for example, in form of CVs? How is your LinkedIn profile? How is your portfolio? Does it make sense, or is it organized? Is it engaging, or it is just empty and vague? So a strong persona, the need for it, okay, why do we need to build a brand, a very strong brand? We should know that, okay, a strong brand builds trust, credibility, and it opens a lot of opportunity. So that key statement we shall take from this session of the presentation is that we should know that your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. If you are an employee, an opportunity comes up and they are looking for candidates to fill in that opportunity, what do your colleagues or what do people, your leaders, your your supervisors, what do they say in the room behind your back? And that is mostly based on the perception they have about you. Is he reliable? Does he meet deadlines? Does he communicate professionally? Does he have good interpersonal skills? So that is why a personal brand is very important, because so much at times when decisions are being made about us, we are usually not in that room. So that is what should drive us towards building a very strong and personal brand. So let's understand so much, further on understanding personal branding, it takes a few things or a number of things we should pay attention. Like I said, your skills should speak for yourself. So the first thing is that a personal brand is the way people perceive you based on your skills. So it's not just, don't focus alone on how you propagate or you promote your skills or your services or what you're capable of doing or the value you can offer. It is also important to do your homework. Okay, am I a digital marketer? Or let me hone those skills, sharpen your saw. So as much as it's important to make them visible, you also have to pay so much attention at sharpening your skill, because that is going to make the perception about you. Okay, he's an excellent person, he has excellent customer service, but then his services or product are not up to standard. So you see, we still need that skill there. The other one that from opinions or perception is your value. Apart from the skill you have, you're an excellent developer. How does that solve people's problem? What value does it add to them? What is that from your skill that can make them ready or open to pay you in form of salaries, or to keep you employed, or even to employ you, or in form of businesses? What is that value that your skills generate? So also your online presence. And here it is very important for us to mention that we live in an age whereby there are digital footprints all around. And our personas, or we as persons or as individuals, it transcends our physical being and the people we meet physically. Our online presence also tells a lot about us. So what do I mean here? You are seeking employment, or you are a business owner or an enterprise. You have an enterprise that you're developing. We mentioned people will go online and search about you for their own due diligence. You have to maintain a professional online presence. If need be, have different accounts. If you're on Facebook, okay, and you are interested in certain subjects, okay, have this account that is dedicated that, for example, it's professional. You say the things you do, you show your work. If you have attended a conference, you post it there. Some of the insights you have had, okay, you read a book or you attended a training, those insights, you share them on that your professional online account. And then if you're someone that, okay, likes to banter and go into some other trivials, no, we're not trying to say do not be yourself. One very important thing in personal branding is be unique and original. Be yourself. You don't have to fake it or be like someone else, because any person or every person has the value. Okay, someone says that the volume is low. Please confirm, Zainab, am I being heard clearly? Or is there a network?
I think it has to be from their own end, because I can hear you clearly. But let's confirm from other participants. Can you hear us, please?
Please, if you can hear
Yes,
clearly.
yes, we can hear you clearly. Maybe it's his network. The network
Okay.
is from his end.
Maybe. Okay, please. The person having that challenge, if you're having a network problem, you can log out of the meeting and log in back, or even change location. I believe that will help.
Yes,
Yes,
but
exactly.
it's audible, but yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, thank you so much. So
Yes.
We're speaking on maintaining an online presence because so much at time, whether we like it or not, we do postings, and how we present ourselves online says a lot about us. You will agree with me, or you will try to imagine a lot of people that you have an opinion about their person, and you have never met them. And it's not even about rumor. Okay, do not judge me by what you hear about me from other people. No, there are several people in today's digital world that you have an opinion or perception about them, and you have not had 1 minute of interaction with them, be it physical or not. But because of their online presence and how they carry themselves there, you have an opinion about them. Okay, this person is a serious person. Okay, if I were to do business with this person, I can do business with this person. If I were to need this person's skill, okay, I can employ them because they have the right values, and you are making all these decisions or having all these perceptions based on their online presence and how they carry themselves online. So, like I said, we can have a number of online profiles. You have your online professional online presence. For example, if you're an employee, you post things about your work, the conferences you have had, the problems you have solved. The same thing for business owners. Okay, what new program have you had? What new product are you developing? What added services have you added? You can see all those things online. And also, if you have other interests, for example, I'm not trying to say it's bad, but then we're trying to maintain online professionalism, especially for we coming up, for people that have already had a brand, that have maxed it up. For example, a business, for example, Aliko Dangote now on his online presence or profiles, he posting something about Nigerian jollof or Ghana jollof. Yeah, that's exciting. Or something even much. It's not to say you shouldn't maintain humor online. No, or something more trivial, or no, not even trivial, but something more degrading, or let me say immoral. It wouldn't do much to affect him. But try to think about that for someone, a young person that is building his brand, and that brand has not been strongly established. Will that make people have a different opinion about you or perceive you differently? Of course, yes. Okay, I want to employ someone, maybe based on my personal values. I'm looking for someone that is serious-minded, responsible, and I go to search them online. Please permit my language, just for means of illustration. And I see him posting people shaking their bum bum. Believe me, we are human beings. Say we listen, we don't judge. But of course, whether we like it or not, there's a level of judgment or perception we build about those people, and it affects their employability and business opportunity. So next is your communication style. You have to find your own communication style. It's a lot in personal branding. Communication is a big part of personal branding. Okay, how do you communicate your ideas, finding your voice? And for those people that will think, okay, I am not genius, I don't know it all, or people that even suffer from imposter syndrome, know that there are people out there communicating or portraying themselves out there and what they do, and maybe they are not anywhere as skilled as you are, but then they have the audacity, and then they maintain their original voice, and they say it out, though they can refine it. You have capacity to keep learning if you have a problem with communications, but then be yourself. That's why it's called personal branding. You're not trying to be another person. Be yourself, but then try to refine your skills and your capacity. Also, on this part of communication, I want us to know something on why it is important to develop or build your communication skills and find your communication style. Let's say I have a 70% ability, but then when communicating about that stuff, I'm only able to communicate 10%. If it's an expertise, down in me, I have mastered, I have a 70% or 80% mastery. But whenever I'm talking about that subject or communicating it to others, I'm only able to communicate to a 10% level. To be honest, how will other people perceive you on that expertise? Will they perceive you as a 80% proficiency or expertise in that subject, or will they perceive you at a 10%? Most likely, they will perceive you as 10% because people cannot read into our minds. It is our ability to communicate, the level we're able to take it or show or portray, that is the level they will understand or have about us. So it is very important to hone our communication skills and also find our communication style. And very importantly is for us to stay consistent. Consistency matters. Do you post about your business and what you do today and not do that till after a week? Communication is not consistent. Or are you talking on the subjects like still coming back to that on online presence? Let's say you are a digital marketer. So today you're talking about or you're writing about digital marketing on your profile or posting a video about digital marketing. And you don't post about that again in a month. You post politics, you post this, you post that. That is not giving any sense of direction. That is not being consistent. Though you can post other things, but then your key skill or your key expertise, try to make sure that the communication, or if there's a key value you are trying to propose, try to make sure that you are consistent about that. So to give it a round up, what makes a strong personal brand? It's a combination of skills, attitude, that is how your outlook towards things, how you respond to things, visibility, and also consistency. So right now, this is what I want you to do. What do you think people see when they search your name online? You don't have to put this in the chat session. Okay, when people search your name online, what do they see? And from what they see, what perception will they have about you? Okay, if you have come to that, from that perception they have, and based on the personal brand you want to create for yourself, are they in alignment or are they in conflict? This is a personal exercise you can do on your phone, on a piece of paper. You have that answer and it guides your action going forward. So next, based still on personal branding, what do you want to be known for? And for you to know what you for you to know what you be known for, you have to like conceptualize it. You don't do it in an unintentional manner or haphazard. So here, I want, as a guide to know how to build your personal brand, I want us to ask ourselves these questions. Even though inshallah the slides will be shared, but you can write them down, brainstorm about them, about the questions, ponder them, write your answers. It does not have to be excellent. One thing we need to learn as young or youth is that capacity to iterate. It doesn't have to be perfect. Scribble something, write a draft, refine it, iterate over and over till it becomes something better. It does not have to be this very perfect at the first time. So to go straight, every participant should be able to answer, oh, what do I do well? And this is aligned towards your skills. What problem do I solve? What problems do I solve? Who benefits from my skill? From the what problem do I solve is what value can I give other people? What value am I able to create? Who benefits from my skill? And this you are trying to localize or find your niche of who to channel your communications to, or your target audience, be it employers or even in the business world. And also, what opportunity do I want next? So if we have these questions together, one can build his brand statements. You know what you do well, that is your skill. You know the value you are able to create and who you are able to create those values for, and what is your outlook? What is the next thing you are aiming towards? So for an example of some brand statements is that I help small businesses create clean designs and digital content. So your expertise or skill could be you are familiar with Photoshop or some other video editing or graphic design softwares. That is a skill. But then what problems do you solve is the value others are looking for. You help small businesses to create what? Clean designs and digital content. So in this statement, we can see it also captures what? The problem you solve, which is creating clean designs and digital content, and who is your target, who are the beneficiaries of your skill? Small businesses. Another example, I'll just read through them. I build simple websites for startups and local businesses. I support organizations with data entry, reporting, and admin support. So these are examples. So if we look through these examples, we'll see that in essence, they capture these 4 questions. What do I do well? What problems do I solve? Who benefits from my skills? And what opportunity do I want next? So now, as a task, because it is personal, I will not employ you to post it in the chat box, but then I will give a 1 minute. Write your own 1-sentence personal brand. Just 1 sentence. You can see these examples are quite simple. Do it right now. If you are with your phone, open your notes and write it there. If you are taking notes with a pen and paper, write it. So I'll give just 1 minute. Remember, I would like to iterate. It does not have to be perfect. You don't have to think about your grammatic formation. No, it's your ideas. And remember, you can iterate and always refine that. But for now, I am close to do action. Remember, it is it should be an interactive section. So write it, your 1-sentence personal brand statement. So please, when you are done with yours, try to give us the emoji that you are done. Okay, I saw some people posted some things in the chat section. For example, Umar said insecticide fumigation. Okay, that is good attempt. Ibrahim Sanusi mentioned Malamingona poultry products and solutions. Someone also wrote I create and design. So good. I even though I have implored people not to, because I feel it's personal, but then this is giving me an insight. So one thing I want to also reiterate here, from the examples we see here, they are not vague and broad. It is specific. So for example, if you write I create and design, what do you create and design? Who do you create and design for? And how does that benefit them? Can we see those questions? So it's not about writing businesses. So believe me, we have capacity to improve, but then I just saw it, I deem it important because we're talking about personal brands, and some people have expressed themselves in the chats box. So for example, someone mentioned data analysts. So let's pick that as an example. He has the skill of data analysis. So what can he say? He can say, I help business. Okay, please, you can mute your mics. It is interrupting the session. Please mute your mics, and it is interrupting the session. Okay, Ibrahim Abdurrahman said a designer.
Please kindly mute your mic as you join. So Muhammad Bulama, mute your mic. Mohammed Bulama Waziri, mute your mic, please.
Okay, I can see people making more moves, and some are even making it better. So, but like I said, the intention of this session is a wake-up call, is to like put us on a particular direction that we can learn, we can know what skills we need to hone, how to go about them, and how to refine them. I've seen some very wonderful contributions in them, but then put it at the back of your mind. Always do something. Put down, just write something, no matter how insignificant it may seem or how vague it may seem. Then you improve it. But then in doing so, make sure that your personal brand statements is able to answer the questions: what do I do well? What problems do I solve? Who benefits from my skills? And what opportunities do I want next? So inshallah, we'll move to the next slide. And now we come to writing a winning CV. It's on personal branding. It can be in form of CV, or it can be in form of digital profiles. So now on CV, your CV must speak professionally. Just for more context, or to note that we should know that CV means curriculum vitae, and it is a written document that gives a summary about who you are. For example, your name and how you can be contacted, the relevant skills you have, the education and certifications you have, which shows your expertise, your work experience, some works you have done, the projects you have worked on, and the achievements you have the achievements you have had, and also the tools you are proficient in. So that is a curriculum vitae. It's like a summary of who you are that you send to employers, and they evaluate based on their need and job description to see if someone is a right fit for the job. And what usually comes after that is if it aligns, they call for interviews, which is having the one-on-one section and taking the conversation deeper. So here now we want to quickly run through how should a professional and strong CV look like? What are the components it should have, and how to go about it? Maybe in the future we'll have more practical sessions whereby we work on building a CV together, but then here we just show what it should entail and things you should avoid. So a strong modern CV should include the following: that is your clear name and contact details. For example, your name, if you use 3 names, your first name, surname, and other name, and so also your contact address. This can be your phone number, your house or residential address, and also your email address, and your other social, based on the industry. Here we are taking a general or a broad CV to know what things it should entail, but then always try to make research about the specific industry you are going into, because in some industries do have specific or refined way that they present their CV and what it carries. So this is just on a general note, and sometimes even employers do mention what they want in the CV. So always adhere, take insight from industry practices, and also adhere to instructions, if any, is given about how the CV should be. But this is on a general note. So on clear name and contact details, one of the important contact details to add is your email. And here, remember, the watch word is for it to be professional. And for that email address to be professional, it has to be short, concise, and professional. For example, someone writes an email. We could see very funny emails. A professional email, something like that he puts on a CV, something like Arsenal no go win quadruples. I don't know. Some people can come up a lot of things like ideas when writing email. So is that professional? I don't think that it is. Or someone can. People have very different ways of writing email, but then an email address to be short, professional. It can be your name with some alphabet or something you do or that speaks to one of your skill or values. For example, get to know Muhammad at gmail.com or at yahoo.com. That is a professional email. Or it could be your name, Muhammad Salim Awal 113 at gmail.com. It's professional. Or curious Salim. You see, it speaks about a value. It's in my email that, okay, this person is curious or understand. So that's what I mean. But we should be watchful about the email we put on. Yeah, I can see someone posted an email and that looks very fine and professional. Aliyu Salafi at gmail.com. So the next component a professional, strong and modern CV should have is the professional summary. What is the summary about yourself? What you do and your values. That's one paragraph someone will read and have an idea about you. That is the professional summary. So also the CV should contain the relevant skills you have. If you have, for example, skills in project management, in data analytics, in conflict management, so these are skills, the relevant skills that are applicable to that job. And also, please, it is very important I mention here that for each purpose, you should have a CV for each purpose. Do not have one CV that fits all job applications. For each job application you are applying for, you should fine-tune your CV or curriculum vitae or resume. Here at this point I'll use them interchangeably, even though resume and CV have a bit of difference, but permit me, I'll use them interchangeably here. It should be one CV or one resume for a particular job application. Okay, don't say I have this CV. For every job application that comes, I'm going to just apply with it. No, you have to refine it, fine-tune it, and make it align with the job requirements. So in that, you put relevant skills that matter in that job or in that application you're seeking for. So also your education, the schools you have been to, and the certification or qualification you have attained, be it BSc, NCE, diploma, and also certifications you have attained. Okay, are you a certified Google educator, or a Microsoft, or some industry-specific certifications? And at this point, just as a side note, I will implore us that one of the things that give visibility, especially as potential employees or as people or as employees, or improve our employability margin, is going for certifications. In whatever industry you choose, look out or search or talk to mentors. What are those certifications, recognized certifications in that area? These are part of the things that increases one's employability margin. For example, if you are in finance industry, some of the certification is having your CFA, Certified Financial Analyst. If you're in the banking industry, for example, in Nigeria, you should go for the certification CIBN. For example, if you are, each industry has that. If you're an engineer, for example, you're in the engineering industry, you should have your current. You should be registered with the NSE. So these are certifications. Certifications, they show that you are strong on your skills. So, certifications are a big thing, and these are one of the things. These are some of the things that are lacking in our own domain among the youth in northern Nigeria. We sleep on this, and please, this is a wake-up call we should take certification seriously, and we should be big on them, because certification go a long way in improving and increasing our profitability margin. So also we can add work experience and internship. Okay, what are the works you have done? In here, while demonstrating them or describing them, try to use action words and action verbs. If it's a past job, I was able to achieve so, and so. And please, you may think, okay, I was just doing a simple job. I don't need nothing. We don't need to. You have to put it in a way that is catchy. It's catchy. And for those people that say, okay, I don't have any work experience, I do not have a previous employment, what can you do? Some of the things we can do to bridge this, even to build skills or capacity, is to look out for internship. Internship is like apprenticeship. It can be paid internship. It can be on voluntary basis. But try to keep yourself engaged. You have an interest and you see there's a company or there's a business that's into that, walk up to them. If you're not on employment level yet, you can seek to be an intern there, or you can even seek to be a volunteer. That will hone your skills and you will have a good understanding of that industry and how to develop yourself to meet expectations. So we have captured for those who have working experiences, and for those, let's say, fresh out of school, or for example, I want to change career into, let's say, project management, and I've not worked as a project manager before. So what is one thing I can do after learning and taking courses or certification in it? Very important, certification. One of the importance of certification is you can, if you want to change career, without even having the necessary education background, you can use certification to go into fresh domains or different niche. So you can apply for internships on that to hone your skills to practical levels. So some of the things you should also have in your CV are some of the projects you have worked in. If you have volunteered as anything, if you are an agaji or a first aid worker, or you are in your community, you help with organized community sanitation, or you have a youth group that do a particular service, or always capture this in your CV. They go a long way, because sometimes, a lot of times, based on the values of the organization, they look out for these things. And also the achievements you have had on your previous job or previous tasks or in your internship, you should also capture them. So also the softwares and tools you can use. For example, you can put a proficient in Microsoft Excel, in Word documents, or in the Office suite itself. Or if you have some more specific industry-specific softwares or tools, if you're an engineer, for example, chemical engineer, you could say, okay, you have proficiency in Aspen HYSYS software. If you're a project manager, for example, you are proficient in Asana, you are proficient with spreadsheets. So these are the tools you can use. So also make sure, okay, someone mentioned IBM SPSS, which is for data analysis. That's amazing. This should fall under the tools and software one can use. So what are also some of the things to look out for, so that some pitfalls to avoid? As much as we mentioned that the CV is you portraying yourself, you giving a summary of who you are and what you can do, we want to mention a lot of things about ourselves, show, express our capacity. But then one thing we should avoid is not to give too much personal information. Like I mentioned, there are differences to these things based on industry and based on companies that you are applying. Some companies will tell you what your CV should have, but then on a general base, do not put too much personal information. For example, we see some people go as much as putting local government, nationality, religion, for those, except it is needed or asked that you should put these things, or tribe. Yes, thank you, Abdul Hafiz. Do not put them. These are too much or unnecessary personal information. You should limit, except, like I said, on case-to-case basis or based on industry practice, where within your niche or domain or your industry, that is the practice, then you should do so. One thing we should also avoid is long paragraphs in describing your job experience, or also in describing the projects you have worked on or the achievements you have attained. So you should always try to make it clear and concise. Also, we should also avoid unclear job titles that are not nice. For example, do you have anyone that can give? For example, developer, yeah, that's an unclear job title. What kind of a developer? Are you a real estate developer? Are you a software developer? Even in software, are you a Python developer? Are you a front-end developer? Or just analysts? Are you a security analyst? Are you a digital analyst? Are you a forensic analyst? So do not avoid unclear job titles. The job title should give an idea about what you do, and about what you do. Very important is for us to avoid typos and poor formatting. We should also make sure our formatting is clear, concise, and not rough, and try as much as possible to avoid typos. So one way we can do this is, after you have your CV, before you send it out, try to give it to 2 other people, like your mentors, to go through and give their inputs on it, to make corrections, so that you can correct it. So you hear me mentioning mentor. So mentorship for personal growth is very important. For us to grow, we have to look up to people that have achieved or grown in that field that we want to go in, and find some that will guide us. Remember, mentors do not spoon feed us. Like, do not send your CV to your mentor that, okay, or Atani had a CV, make this CV for me, or I want to do this. No, always apply yourself. Do something, then show it to them, to point to you where you can improve, things you can fine tune. So these are what mentors are for. So with that, very important to mention here, there's what is called the ATS, which is applicant tracking system. For a lot of jobs, employers receive a lot of CVs. So how do they go through them? And it has been mentioned, I cannot remember the source, but it has been mentioned that usually interviewers or recruiters do not spend more than 10 seconds on a particular CV. And this is why you should not put too much information or long paragraphs and vague information. You should always try to be clear and concise. So by just taking your CV, if it's a physical CV, or reading through it, in 10 seconds, they have made a decision about you. Are we going forward with this person, or it's just ending here? So you can see that's a relatively short amount of time. That is why we should put in time to see we refine our CV or curriculum vitae for each job application. Also important to make sure that, okay, we have the ATS is a technology that screens through a CV. What does it look for? It looks for typographic errors. It looks for unclear titles, for example, job titles. It looks for what do you call it? Action words that match the job description. If these things are missing, you see some people keep sending CVs, they are skilled, but then they don't have any interview calls. And some people that are even less skilled than them keep acing applications and getting interviews. So these are some of the things to look out for. Like I mentioned, the aim of this session is to give us a general outlook, or to point us in a particular direction, but it is very encouraged and recommended that we go on with personal learning. So next we are going to look at what makes a strong CV and what makes a weak CV. So what makes a CV stand out? What is that thing that a CV should have that immediately employers, within that 10 seconds they have to spend with your CV? What will make your CV stand out, catch their attention, and want to give you more opportunity to proceed? So let's start with the weak CV. A weak CV has no professional summary. Remember, we mentioned that a CV should have a professional summary section, and that is a summary of your skill, the value you have, and what you aspire to do, like just a summary of you. It also have no clear skill section. For example, the CV does not mention the skills that person has that are valuable or applicable to the job they are applying for. It is difficult to read. For example, you have long paragraphs, you have typographic errors, and let's say the formatting, it is too condensed. This is a sign of a weak CV. Also, it has no evidence of results. For example, I did so and so. You just mentioned is you are just telling a story. What is the impact of what you have done? Okay, for example, I revised our process workflow. That is good. But what is the evidence of the results? Okay, that I have done improved our sales with 10%, or improved our customer waiting time by reduced our customer waiting time by 20%. Here you are communicating impacts, and it is the impact of your skills or actions or experience that employers look out for. So make sure that your CV is not absent of evidence of the results. So also do not use generic statements like hardworking in your personal statements. Make it more refined. And for a quick example, I'll click on these links to show us. Okay, it's not showing. Okay, these links are examples of some weak CV and how they look like. And if you go through them, we'll share the slides. I thought I could be able to click on them here. You see so that you avoid it. And also, a strong CV should have a clear design, a clean design. It should be tailored to the opportunity. You see, we mentioned it here. For each job opportunity, for each job opening, you should tailor your CV to meet it. Don't use one CV for every job application. That is not a good practice. That is not evident of a strong CV. We should also use action words and results. For example, participated in, contributed in, created, developed. These are action words that are strong, and they are not passive in nature, and they show results also. For example, the earlier example, okay, a particular action you have done, what was the impacts? That's the result. It should also show measurable achievements. If you've had certain achievement based on the work you have done, put it out all there. Your CV is you trying to sell yourself. So sell yourself well, but then in a very clear and concise manner. And it should be able to be scanned in 30 seconds. So, we mentioned earlier that recruiters usually just spend 10 seconds. So make sure that, okay, in reviewing your CV or giving others to review your CV, ask this question: can this CV be easily reviewed and the essence of it captured in 30 seconds? If the answer is no, then you need to spend more time to refine and fine-tune your CV. So examples of improvement. For example, a weak description will be worked in an office, but a strong one will be supported office documentation, prepared reports, and improved record organization. Here, on a lighter note, I recall some days ago I was going through social media and I saw these CV memes. And for example, someone will tell you he's a babysitter, maybe that is what he does, or he's a barrister, or but the way he will describe that, oh my God, it will be very amazing. So we are not saying you should be very exaggerative, but then try to be very intentional in describing what you do and not leave them weak and vague. So we've reached a 1 hour mark. I think next we have 30 minutes to round up this conversation. So let me take it a bit quicker. We have laid the foundation. To this point, we have laid the foundation for our presentation. We've talked about personal branding. And one of the ways you can brand yourself personally, especially in terms of employability, is using curriculum vitae. But then now we want to talk about the online profiles. And we have made the basis in curriculum vitae, which is the CV. So now, but we live in a digital world, and the present, what we carry, employers, for example, through LinkedIn and other mediums or platforms, get to see your capacity and skill, and people can sell themselves via those platforms. So in essence, they are digital CVs. So since we have made it the essence of what a good CV should look like and what a weak one what a weak one is and we should avoid, the same thing, we could bring similar one, we could bring it down to the online profile, but then with just some few added peculiarities. For example, in your digital or online profile, you should have a clear profile picture. In your LinkedIn accounts, your profile picture should be not any one. For example, you smiling, opening your mouth, saying your two fingers like a cheese or clock its position. No, let it be clear and professional. You should have a professional headline. You should have a good summary or about section. And this is similar to the professional summary in a CV, in the CV scenario. You should also capture your relevant skills, your education and certification. We have mentioned these things, so I'm not going to dwell again on them. The project and achievements, and you should also update your experience. If you have a new experience, always update the way you will update your CV. Keep updating your experience on your LinkedIn profile. For example, you worked in a new project, you learned certain things, talk about it. You have learned a new tool in your expertise, talk about it, portray it. You have built a new project, let it out, the key is a big time on visibility, because what people don't see, they wouldn't know. So also your contacts and professional links, for example, links to your portfolio, also link to your social media handles, all this, you can add them to it. So for example, just the professional headline, a good professional headline should look like, just as an example, electrical technician, solar installation, open to opportunities. While a weak one will be something like students and hustler, or where are all the hustlers in the house? Let me see some reaction. All our hustlers and entrepreneurs. Let's see some reaction. So, or entrepreneur or looking for anything. Nigeria hard, or the job, no job. So anything open. Okay, open for business. The way we say it. But then, for you to have a good professional headline, we have seen a good example. You can say the things you are into. If you have a number of expertise or interest, you should mention it there. If you are open for jobs, put it up there. If you're not open, if you're not looking for a job, you could put it out there. Not open for job hiring or something like that. But then it should be clear and concise. That is the watchword there. So thank you for the very wonderful reactions. I appreciate them. So we have mentioned that a CV should have a professional summary, and also digital profiles or platforms like LinkedIn do have the About To section. So how do you tell your story or summarize your story, or you tell about yourself in a concise manner in 5 to 6 lines? Then to do that, you should ask these questions, or if you have written your professional statement or About To section in your LinkedIn, you should use these questions to as checklist to see if it has fits or if it is efficient or effective. So a good summary should answer these following questions. Does it answer who you are? Does it answer what you do? Or it will also answer what are your strengths, your skills, your value. It should also capture what value do you offer and what you are seeking. Are you seeking to change career? Are you seeking for a job in this? Are you seeking for a contract? So that is basically what the story should look like in the summary section of your CV or about to section on your LinkedIn profile. So a quick example of a summary here will be, I am a digital marketer with experience in social media content, basic analytics, and brand communication. I help businesses grow visibility and engage their audiences. I am interested in roles and projects that combine creativity, strategy, and measurable results. You can see one paragraph. It tells your story, or it summarizes your story in just about 5 to 6 lines or sentences. So we also have a tax here. If you have a LinkedIn profile, go and look at the summary. Does it fit a good summary? Use these questions as yardsticks to give points to your summary. I mean, if it's something that needs refining. And if you don't have one, try to use this as a guide in writing your about to section or professional summary on your CV. So because of time, you can do that. But then also, let's take a moment. In this professional summary, this sample or example we have seen, and I want you to engage me by using the emojis. If it's good, you show the good. If it doesn't, then you turn it down. In this summary section, does it tell us about who the person is? I believe yes, because he said, the summary section said, I'm a digital marketer. Is that correct? Okay, yes, I can see the thumbs ups. Does it tell us what the person do? Yes, it tells what the person do. His experience, or he has the skill in social media content, basic analytics, and brand communication. Does it tell the value he offers and his strengths? Yes, I help businesses grow visibility and engage their audiences. Does the summary also capture what he's seeking, or what he's looking towards? Yes, he mentioned it out clearly, or in the example, it is mentioned clearly that I am interested in roles and projects that combine creativity, strategy, and what? Measurable results. So we can see this is very clear and concise, and that is how our professional summary or about to section in our LinkedIn profiles should look like. So thank you, Sufyan and others, for the contributions. I can see them in the comment section. So we proceed where time is not so much on our side. So we have talked about CV. In CV, the aim is not in that storytelling is not just to tell about something. It is to demonstrate it. It is to show it. And that is why one important component of our curriculum vitae, especially the digital one in LinkedIn, is attaching links to our portfolio. It is what the Hausas will say, a proverb, Gani ya kureji. Demonstrate your capacity. All these things work hand in hand. So show and do not just tell. And this is, we have now come to the need for creating a portfolio. A portfolio, for us to understand it, is a proof of your work. The work you have done is a proof of it. If you are a software developer, what is that? Your portfolio will be that site that you gather, let's say your GitHub, the open source, just a section of it, or a summary of it, or a finished job. If you are a vendor, the services you have offered. If you sell products, what you have delivered, like the proof of your work, not just saying about it, not just saying I am an excellent digital marketer, or I'm into digital marketing. What shows your project? If you say you are very proficient, what shows it? So that's the need for a portfolio. So quickly, your portfolio may include samples of projects you have worked on. It could be designs you have created, the photos of it, or reports you have written based on completed projects. It could be certificates on courses you have taken to sharpen your skills. It can be a case study. For example, something is happening in your industry, you analyze it. For example, you are into digital marketing, and let's say there's a new product in town, or you want to share an experience of what you had that made you missed a deal or closed out a deal. It can be part of your case study session. It can be also about testimonials. What are the good things or experiences that others have shared about you? And here, in terms of employability, or you trying to secure employment, it can be your, what do you call it, something commendation letter, or how it is, other names it may have, or recommendation letter from your previous worker, or from volunteering jobs you have done previously. Or if you are a business owner, what are the good testimonies or experiences others have shared about the product or services you have offered? These are things that demonstrate and not just tell. And what you feel is more than just what you hear or see. It could also be links to your online work. For example, if you're a designer or other things that maybe, it can also show before and after results. And at this juncture, I have been meaning to say it. Please, I would like to recommend a book that we should read. It's a very small book, short, concise. I don't think it's even up to 50 pages, but then it's very powerful. It has changed my outlook about work and how I go about it, especially it dwells on visibility. The title of the book is Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. Let me type it in the chat section. Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. So please do well. You could, if you don't have time to read it, you could go to YouTube and hear some reviews or some summary about the book, Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. I hope I get this spelling correctly. So very important, because one of the things he mentioned is like show your before and after work. If you're a fashion designer, post the before, like the fabric, the cutting of the fabric, the processes in you designing it, you sewing it, and the after results. Also, if there are personal projects you have engaged in, be it not for profits, or be it, it's you like showing what you are capable of doing. That's the summary of it. So why do portfolios matters? They build trust, because a lot of times so many people are fancy about what they say they can do, nothing to show for it. So one thing, when people go through your portfolio and they see it, it builds trust, it demonstrates expertise, and they will trust that, okay, they can have good service with you, or they trust that, okay, this person has the necessary capability to be employed. It also shows evidence of competency. It also makes you memorable. Remember, sometimes just, okay, out of a lot of applications I've gotten, he may not remember your name, but he may remember your project. Okay, that person who designed or developed a robot that can be used for insecticide spraying on a farm. It makes you memorable. People see and recall you by the projects, or by inputs or things you have done, or by testimonials. So it also helps assess your ability quickly. So examples by field, for example, a portfolio, what a portfolio can look like for design, it can be the samples of the design you have made, the flyers you have made, the posters you have made. If you're a writer, it can be examples, it can be links to the articles and books you have written. Okay. If you're a developer, it can be your GitHub projects. If you're an analyst, a digital analyst, it can show the dashboards you have constructed and the reports and the insights you have gotten out of it. So these develop trusts. I think I need to hasten up. We are running out of time.
For this section, sir. When are we going to send the attendance?
The attendance will be in the next 15 minutes, we should be rounding up this conversation. So within that 30 minutes time for question and answer, I believe the attendance will be put forward. Please, Zainab, confirm that. Is that so? Or there's an information?
Yes, sir, that's the so I've already given the instruction.
I thought that you have gotten the attendance. That's why I'm asking.
No. Thank you for bringing it up to our notice. But it has not been forgotten. Thank you so much.
Excuse us. Okay, you are going to take attendance.
Sorry, please, can you message my question and answer session?
He mentioned a concern that it's approaching prayer time, so we'll do quickly to round up this presentation so that the attendance link can be dropped and we can do it. Even if you go for prayer, be rest assured that you will still have access to the attendance link. So please, let's limit the attendance will be off on the meeting.
Okay, so
the attendance will be left in the chat until 4.
Okay, thank you. So let's proceed quickly. So what weakens your brand? We have so much mentioned about personal branding of it. Of course, your digital presence, your CV, your profile, this all forms your brand. Remember, we mentioned brand about the perception others have about you and how that influence the decisions they make about you. Do they sign that contract? Do they give you that employment? Do they recommend you for an opportunity or not? So what are the things that could weaken your brand? Number one is inconsistent name across platforms. On Facebook, you are Talat Tangaji. On TikTok, you are Fine Boy. On Instagram, you are it's the hustler in town. So I mean, you can see it is inconsistent name across platforms. If someone is going through your online presence and wants to know more about you, like there's a cut and not continuity. So this can weaken one's brand because it speaks unprofessional and it could be assumed that it's even a different brand entirely. It's also using unprofessional profile pictures, like I mentioned. It should not be a profile picture that, for example, you smiling. Of course, you should smile, or you laughing and taking up your two hands, like in the clock-it position, or making some funny gestures. No, it should be a very professional profile photos. We should also avoid poor spelling and grammar. Always, especially, and we're in the digital age, the age of AI. These are little tasks that AI can help you do. It can look out for spellings for you. It can help you refine your grammar. So please try out new things. Apply yourselves. It does not have to be perfect at the beginning, but then you keep improving little by little. So, or using outdated information that can also weaken your brand, using excessive slang or joke on professional pages. And remember, this is where we mentioned earlier that you should, if you have to go into certain things you have interest, try to make your professional pages or online presence different from your parody accounts or burner accounts, as they may call them. So also copying others' bios. Do not copy any other person's bio. Remember, we're emphasizing on for us to be very original. Be original. You can take inspiration from other people's bio, but then always refine it to show yourself, your original self. Posting only complaints or random content. Remember, we said we need to be very intentional, not to just post random content. If you are a digital marketer, do not post about digital marketing today or share a digital marketing post today and post nothing related to digital marketing again until the next 2 months. It becomes a random content and it doesn't portray your brand in a strong sense. So also no proof of work. It's just telling I did this, but with no portfolio, no testimonials, no samples, no photos, nothing to demonstrate the work you are doing. Only words. Of course, you could use words. I mean, that weakens your brand because it doesn't strengthen trust. Remember here, what we should take away with is that your digital presence should support your goal and not sabotage them. So to the next slide, how do we turn skills into opportunity? Because that is it. Remember, it has been iterated so far in the first session and also in this session that skills is not only skills. How do you turn your skills into values that can open or attract opportunities to you? Number one is don't just list your skills. Show what you can do and where you have used it before. And this can be demonstrated in your portfolio. What results you have achieved. You can mention these things in your CV or digital CVs like LinkedIn, but always show them. For example, instead of saying I know how to use Canva, you can say I create social media graphic using Canva for small businesses promotion. For example, you don't just say I'm a good communicator or excellent communicator. You can say I have presented ideas in group projects and supported customer communication. Demonstrate it. Don't just list the skills, but demonstrate them and the impacts that they give. That is what speaks value. So a strong profile looks like this. For example, the summary section, the profile summary, an organized data entry. This is just a sample. An admin support assistant with strong Excel communication and reporting skills, experience in handling record, assisting with documentation and supporting team operations, open to internship, remote or entry-level roles. We have seen something similar like this in when we were discussing about LinkedIn, the About You section. So why does this work? If we look at this, it is clear, it is concise, it is specific about the skills and the value that they create. It is professional, the value is clear, and it shows readiness for opportunity. So now we should ask ourselves, how could someone in your field write a similar portfolio or profile? Go to experts in your field, see how they write their profile. Remember, the aim is not to copy their bio or copy and paste it, but to gain or derive inspiration from it. So the aim of this session or the program, the capacity building program, is not to just come and listen to about things or learn things in the very details. Like we said, this is to invoke action from us, to give us a sense of direction, and that will take us further in our learning, and also to invoke action, just not here. Remember, it has always been emphasized, do something. And also during the course of the presentation, I do give certain tasks, sometimes in the chat box and sometimes outside of the chat box. So now let's start building our personal brand today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. It doesn't have to be till the end of the program. We can start today. So I've just done something little, things that we can do this week, in the next 2 weeks, and by the end of 30 days. Remember, the focus is on refining skills, like daily little improvement. It doesn't have to be very fancy, catchy, or at standard. The very first instance, you can scribble some draft and keep improving on it. So for this week, you could rewrite your CV. When you rewrite your CV based on what you have learned, at least you could go watch a more detailed video on YouTube or read a blog on how to do this CV. Do not bug yourself with information, because that's one of the problems we're having in this era. We have so much information and you feel like, okay, I have to watch 30 videos about how to write a CV before I can write one. No, I believe me that one video is enough, and write something. Then give it for review to your mentors or to your colleagues. They make observation, go and make it. It's what? Daily, stepwise improvement. Take a professional photo and change those funny photos on your profile and put a very professional one that speaks professionalism. Also create a LinkedIn account if you do not have one today. It's something you should do within the week, starting from today. Or if you have one that is vague and not updated, you should update your LinkedIn profiles. In the next 2 weeks, write your summary, add projects and achievements in both your CVs and LinkedIn account. You should also build a simple portfolio folder that you can share, that gathers the memory or that demonstrates the value you have and what you can do. And by the end of 30 days, you should apply for opportunities. Within this 30 days period, if you need a skill, to learn a skill, you can, of course, we have online presence. You can enroll in a course. You can go sign up for a program, learn it, and use that skill, make your profiles up to date, and apply for opportunities. Ask 2 people to review your CV and post a professional update online. By the end of 30 days, you want to see posts like, okay, I have been able to refine my CV, or if you have not have one, by the end of the 30 days, I have made a CV or I've created a portfolio, something like that. The watchword is action, action, action. And we should remember, or we should recall, that progress begins with small, consistent action. It doesn't have to be big, but then it should be small, consistent, with stepwise improvement. So for the final message, I'll tell us that our future needs visibility. We're in the world whereby you need to showcase yourself. And that's why we've looked about personal branding. Personal branding is about visibility. CV is about visibility. Digital profile portfolio is about visibility. It's because if you do not tell the world what you can do, they mostly wouldn't know. And please try to avoid the imposter syndrome, because that thing you think you are not a genius about, you don't have to be a genius. Someone who is less smarter than you is out there putting out his work to the world, and it is getting him recognitions, it is getting him opportunities. So your future needs visibility, and you should hone your skills, you should hone your presentation capability or skills. Also, your visibility is important. Show your work. Show your work, and also do that consistently. So when your CV, profile, and portfolio speaks clearly, opportunities will find you. Opportunities will find you faster. And this fits with the law of attraction, that when you become better opportunities are going to locate you. So as a wrap-up question, which I think it's open, we can react to this and also type it in the chat box, is what is the first change you will make after this session? Remember, we are invoking action, no later. Just write it in the chat box. Is it your CV? Is it your profile? Is it your portfolio? Is it creating a LinkedIn account? Is it taking a course on CV writing, or watching a video on how to effectively stepwise create a LinkedIn account and put it up to date? What is that one first thing you will change after this session? And I wait to see wonderful things in the chat. Okay, Ibrahim Jega said he's going to work on a CV. That's amazing. So please, more. Okay, updating my CV and creating a LinkedIn profile. So that's good one, Aisha Lani. That's very amazing. So please give more energy, interact. Let's see comments coming in. I will update my CV, update my LinkedIn account. Okay, that's nice. So, recovering my LinkedIn account. Okay, that's nice. Abdul Hafiz. Okay. So, and this brings us to the end of the presentation, and I will hand it over to Zainab to coordinate the question and answer session of this program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate for this insightful and relevant topic you touched. I believe you've hit the right spot of our audience. And thank you very much for the audience, for your cooperation, for muting your mics when you were asked to do so. Thank you very much. And let's maintain this energy, let's maintain the attitude. So, and I believe we've gotten one or two things that we start immediately. This is not just for us to learn, it is not for learning sake, it is not for hearing, it is for taking action. So we should all apply what we've learned from today. Let's start it from today, please. We are going to move to the question and answer session. So please, if you have a question, just raise your hand. Kindly raise your hand, or you can drop it in the chat room. So you can drop it in the in chat messages. We'll check it and we'll read it out, please. And the attendance link has been sent. It is in the chat. Check it and make sure you input the correct session code. It is attached together with the attendance link. For those complaining that the link is not going to be, it has to be from their network probably. So you keep trying and the link will be up. This call is going to remain until 4, so you can fill it from now till 4 p.m. please. So I think we can start with the question and answer. I can see 3 people raising their hands. 4. So we are starting with Yusuf Buhari. Yusuf Buhari, kindly unmute your mic and ask your question. Is Yusuf Buhari with us? Can you hear me, please? Am I audible?
Yes, Zainab, you are audible. And please, in addition, when we have exhausted the people that are going to raise their hands to ask questions, we should also look through the chat box. Perhaps some of them we will put it in the chat. But then we encourage you to speak. We encourage you to speak so that have the courage to speak and voice yourself. We are all learners here, and we're here to support each other. So please speak. But then if you are in an environment that's is rowdy and will not support you speaking, so you may put your questions in the chat box. Over to you, Zainab. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Yusuf, go ahead and ask your questions. I think Mr. Yusuf is not with us, so we'll move to the next person. Mr. Zakaria Shehu, if you are hearing me, kindly unmute and ask your question.
Yes, sir. My question is that is there any recommended line spacing or font size that I can use in the writing CV?
Okay. Mr. Salim Muhammad, he's asking of the recommended line spacing.
Yes, okay. Thank you for that wonderful question. When it comes to line spacing, on a general note, the format or the font we should use is that we should use fonts that are very visible and solid and not stylish. For example, also for the line spacing, it usually should be 1.5 so that the writings are not clouded. But then in some instances, that's if it's not being specified. But then there are certain instances or a lot of instances whereby the employer or in the description, you'll be told the formatting of the CV. So when it is mentioned, always look out for it and try to make it follow the instructions. If they say it's a 2-line line spacing, make it 2-line. If they say it's a 1-line spacing, make it 1 line. But then on an average base, to make the lightings very legible and not clustered or clogged up, I think 1.5 should be okay.
Okay, sir.
Does that answer the question, Abdul Ghaffar?
Yes, sir. And another question, sir. Can I put a logo, or can I just use my professional picture?
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, Yusuf. Please hold on. We'll get back to you very soon. We are trying to round up with Abdul Ghaffar. Just hold on a minute. Thank you. For profession, if it's a CV that you are applying for job, I think in that case, it will be better to use your professional picture. In fact, like I said, always look out for industry specification or practices. In some industries, you do not put on your profile picture, or some in the instruction of the CV, they will tell you no profile picture allowed or no pictures allowed. Always try to adhere to that. And what is the practice in your industry? For example, in the creative industry, let's say you are a software developer or you are a graphic designer. Those creative industries, usually it is the practice in that industry that they have their profile picture. But then in terms of your, and this is for employability, but then if you have a company or a business, and for your profile, digital profile, for that one, of course, it is recommended that you use your logo. Does that answer the question, Abdul Ghaffar? Okay, thank you. Yusuf, if you are online, you can...
I'm not the one that...
Okay, sorry, I have been mistaken it. Please, Yusuf, or the next person online.
Okay, sir, can you hear me?
Person asking question and mute our mic.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes,
Okay, yes,
Mr.
I can hear you, Yusuf.
Okay, sir. My question is that regarding the CV. Hello? Regarding the CV.
Go ahead.
I am a professional in construction, building construction.
Okay.
My course of study. So I taught in several schools, for example. So can I state in my CV that I taught in social school? So is it allowed?
Very interesting question. Very interesting question. So now this will be under your work experience, right? So now when you look at the job, remember we said each job application or opportunity should be, each CV should align with the job application. Let's say now, okay, you are seeking for a job into let's say a construction company. Of course, it will be highly recommended that you mention that you have developed that expertise, that you have even taught these things at school. But then assume you want to now apply, you have this experience, but then you want to apply for a position, let's say in banking, or let's say digital analysts.
Okay.
Does that experience aligns with the job you are looking forward to? No. So try to always refine it. But if the question is, if it aligns with the opening or job description, put it in your CV. If it does not, you can modify it. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, like, if I understand you, it's not all the experience you are going to write through your CV.
Okay. At this point, thank you, Buhari. You know, initially in the course of the presentation, I made mention that I was going to use the words or terms a resume and a CV interchangeably. But at this point, let me make a very quick clarification. A curriculum vitae, which is a CV, of course, it can take all your experiences within, I mean, whether it is related to the industry or not. But then when applying for jobs, usually we send a resume. And the resume is that like a summary from your CV that aligns to a particular opening. I don't know if you get, or aligns to a particular job, or the description of that job, the tasks you are expected to, the skills you are expected to have, or the tasks you are expected to complete in that job. So for a general CV, you can add all your experiences, but then for job applications, which mostly we use resumes, always fine tune it to the purpose of that application. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, Umar Abdullahi Lawal. From Umar Abdullahi, we are going to check the chat box and take at least three also, then we come back to the raise hand. So,
Okay.
Mr. Umar Abdullahi, you can unmute your mic.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, you are very audible, Umar Abdullah.
Yes. So, sir, my question is that maybe the time that you talk about the what to avoid, maybe I missed some paragraphs. Like you say, too much personal information
Yes.
and long paragraphs. So I think you talk about something, but I missed.
Yes, okay. Just as a reiteration, we are making that commitment that we will share the slides, but further things you should avoid, a pitfall you should avoid is unclear job titles. We give example, like do not just mention you're an analyst or a developer. Are you a construction? Are you a security analyst? Are you a digital analyst? Are you what do you call it? Financial analyst? So do not use unclear job titles because the whole aim of the CV is for it to be clear and concise. I hope that answers the question, Umar.
Yes, sir. I heard that you said typho and then typho and something.
Okay, that's typographic error and grammar errors.
Okay.
For example, misspelling, or for example, poor sentence constructions.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Umar. Thank you, Mr. Salim. Kindly mute your mic. So we are taking the questions in the chat box. The first person, Mr. Salih Sugarba, he said, if someone doesn't have a skill, how can he get one? Because many NGOs demand for such. I think Mr. Salim has covered that when he urged us to be engaging in all these certification courses and also applying for internship. We can attach ourselves to some organizations that align with our skills and maybe our goals and areas of interest. Yes. So I believe that has been answered. The next person, Mr. Ibrahim Sanusi, please sir, kindly assist with a well-professional CV sample for participants to compare with their existing one in order to make corrections.
Okay. For the template parts, when we share the presentation slides, we'll see those links will take us to very good templates we can compare. But then when we are comparing templates, I have to make this clarification is that I keep mentioning industry practice because the way a good CV will look in the digital or creative industry, it may be different from other industries. So even when trying to compare templates, make sure you take inspiration and ideas from that particular industry of interest. Yes. So that's on a specific base, but then if it's a general CV of what a good CV should look like and what a weak one looks like, the links in the presentation will take you there. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As I remember in your presentation, you said there is no one CV for all job applications.
Yes,
so
that's
there won't be one particular template. You just have to follow the rules and avoid unnecessary details. So the next person he's talking about, can a student create a CV before he graduates?
Yes, very amazing question. That's a very, I mean, personally, I like this question. So, personal branding is about capacity, showing on capacity building. You do not have to wait till you graduate before you write your CV. In fact, if you remember, we mentioned you can add volunteerings to it. If in your educational level, to the level you have it, put it there. For the experience, if you have involved yourself in volunteering positions, for example, student union, for example, some community-based programs or services, of course, you can include it in your CV. If students that go for internships or this SciWest or industrial training, put it. If you are any program you attend or training you attend or skill you have attained, for example, you are in school and you developed expertise or proficiency on how to use Microsoft Excel in course of studying while still a student, important, all these things go into your CV. Use it to build capacity. Yes, so in essence, while you're a student, of course, you can have CV. If you have done your project work or you have done a presentation or a practical work or a project, you can all include these in your CV. Very, very important. And this is also to answer that question or to solve the problem of, okay, I just finished school, I don't have experience. If you look into our lives, we have experiences. A lot of times these experiences are transferable. Let's say, on a light note, you are looking forward to start a career in project management, and you have not worked as a project manager before, even in an internship capacity. But then, while you are at school, you served as an LCOM member. You served in a position, let's say, a welfare officer, or you assisted in organizing a departmental dinner, or for whatever it may be, like transferable. You can put these things in your CV because they demonstrate action, and they also demonstrate the achievement and capacity of what you can do. Yes, so highly recommended. Even while being a student, you can have your CV, but always updating it and refining it is a continuous process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the wonderful examples, like real life examples that one can easily relate to. So the next question, please differentiate between CV and a resume. I think you've done this, but you can just give him in maybe 1 to 2 sentences.
Okay, a CV is more elaborate, it's longer. For example, it can take, if you have 10 experiences or working experience, your CV can capture it all. But then in a resume, it's usually one-page document. In your resume, you want to, even in the wealth of your experiences that you can capture on your CV, or the skills you have, or the tools you can use, that you can upload that on your CV. When it comes to your resume, it will be more concise and specific to that role or position. So resume is more concise and more specific. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. We are going back to the raised hands. We have the next person we are taking, I think, is Abdul Wahab Salim Mewada. If you can hear me, kindly unmute and ask your question. It should be brief, please. You have 30 seconds to ask your question. Mr. Abdul Wahab Salim Mewada. Please, Mr. Ishaq, mute your mic. Mr. Abdul Wahab, are you with us? Okay, I think we can move to Mr. Ishaq Muhammad since he is close. Mr. Ishaq Muhammad, 30 minutes to ask your question.
Can you drop us the template for the CV on WhatsApp group?
Okay, we'll make commitments to that. Thank you. We drop the presentation slides, and we'll drop. I will inshallah find some very strong templates to attach with it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have Mr. Abdullah Hassan. If you are with us, kindly unmute and ask your question in 30 seconds. Mr. Abdullah Hassan. Mr. Abdullah Hassan. Okay. The next person, Mr. Mubarak Jibril. If you are with us, kindly unmute and ask your question. In summary.
Okay, hello Zainab. Can I chip in?
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. For those with questions, please, because of time, we may not be able to attend to all questions right now, but then it's a continuous process. You can channel your questions to the chat group. And I think Zainab, they can also put up their questions on the WhatsApp platform. We will gather them, digest them, and maybe create a document that addresses these questions. But because of time constraints, we may not, of course, be able to answer to all questions right now.
Yes, I just noticed that some that raised their hands actually dropped the message in the chat, in this meeting chat. So you can just forward it to the WhatsApp group. We'll check and act accordingly. Thank you very much for joining this session. Thank you, Mr. Salim, for facilitating and giving us insights. And I hope we all apply this to our everyday life, both online and offline. Let's make ourselves professionals. We shouldn't forget about the night session, which is starting by 8 p.m. inshallah. So meet you by then. Thank you very much.